23-year-old William Carpenter is behind bars after attacking his father with a hatchet. The incident occurred early Saturday morning on the 15th of July at a home on Quail Hollow Boulevard in Pensacola, Florida. Authorities said that William and his father got into an argument that escalated, and he attacked the older man with a hatchet. The father was taken to hospital with lacerations on his arm. William was arrested and charged with attempted homicide and criminal mischief. He's held at the Escambia County Jail without bond. The investigation into the matter continues. 2 men have been arrested after a man and a woman were killed and 4 others injured in a shooting. At 12:16 a.m. on Thursday the 13th of July, authorities responded to the parking lot in the Airway Plaza area of bars and restaurants located at 1160 Airway Boulevard in East El Paso, Texas, on reports of shots fired. Police said that a fight started in Ditzy Duck Bar which spilled into the parking lot. 2 men each pulled out their handguns and began firing into the crowd, and 6 people were shot. The men then fled the scene in their car. 26-year-old James Nicholson died at the scene, and 5 individuals were transported to local hospitals with serious injuries. 27-year-old Alexa Ratana later succumbed to injuries at the hospital. The 4 others who were injured ranged in age from 25 to 30 years old. Investigators interviewed multiple witnesses at the scene and reviewed surveillance video of the incident and identified 20-year-old Andrew James Williams and 22-year-old Aaron John as the shooters. Investigators obtained a description of the vehicle Andrew and Aaron fled in, and with the assistance of the Fort Bliss Military Police, the suspects were stopped at the Constitution Gate about 5 miles away. Both men are charged with capital murder and are each held on a $2.5 million bond. The investigation into the matter continues. A 21-year-old man is behind bars after stabbing his grandmother. At just before 6:30 p.m. on Saturday the 15th of July, authorities responded to a home in Ockley, Indiana on report of domestic violence. When deputies arrived at the residence, they found a 58-year-old woman in a critical condition, suffering from multiple stab wounds. Medics transported her to a Lafayette hospital, and she was admitted to the intensive care unit for surgery. A witness told deputies that Dustin Earl Roy Lindsay attacked his grandmother during an altercation before fleeing the scene. Later that evening, deputies located Dustin and arrested him without incident. He's charged with aggravated battery, domestic battery and attempted murder as he's held at the Carroll County Jail. It's unclear what the altercation was about, and an update on the woman's condition has not been provided. The investigation into the matter continues. 64-year-old Richard Hansen is behind bars for fatally beating his 54-year-old wife Nancy Hansen at their home. At 8:21 p.m. on Saturday the 15th of July, authorities responded to a home at 66 Brookline Street in Newton, Massachusetts, after they received 2 911 calls of an assault. One was from a child in the house and the other was from one of Nancy's friends. The child told police his father was hitting his mother with a baseball bat. The child was downstairs with his 2 young brothers while the couple were fighting upstairs. The friend who called 911 said she was on the phone with Nancy when the fight started. She heard the phone drop and then several loud bangs could be heard in the background, as well as the children screaming, "Stop Dad, you're killing her." When police arrived at the property, they found Richard in the driveway with blood splattered on his body and clothes. He told officers that she was cheating on me, and he couldn't believe he did that. One of the boys who was crying led police to one of their bedrooms where they found Nancy unconscious with a head wound. A baseball bat and a weighted bar with blood on it were found near her. She was rushed to Brigham and Women's Hospital where she died, and Richard was arrested. Police interviewed the son who called 911, and he told them that his parents were always fighting and that it had gotten worse this week. An autopsy showed Nancy had fractured right and left forearms, several fractured ribs, blunt force injuries to her skull, defensive wounds on her hands and fingers, and a bruised torso. 2 days earlier, Nancy called police and obtained a restraining order against Richard. The Department of Children and Families has custody of the children who live in the home. During his arraignment in Newton District Court on Monday the 17th of July, Richard pleaded not guilty to murder and several other assault and battery charges relating to his wife's beating death. He is ordered held without bail and is due to appear back in court on the 16th of August. The investigation into the matter continues.